Offering Plan will return to New York Bred Company today after a try in the Grade 1 Shadwell turf as he looks to give his trainer, Chad Brown, his first win in the Mohawk. As the barn readies their star mare and comeback queen, Lady Eli, for the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Turf in search of her 6th Grade 1 victory before heading to the Keeneland November sale. Also, after notable names may be missing from this New York Showcase Day, like Mind Your Biscuits, as he and 3 other statebreds get ready to head to Del Mar for the Breeders' Cup. Welcome to Belmont Park Live, brought to you by, as always, Claiborne Farm, 100 years of doing the usual unusually well. Well, it is New York Showcase Day, and why not show the Excelsior flag, celebrating all the New York breds and their glory here on a beautiful October day. I mean, we couldn't ask for any better weather than what we've got here. The crowd is out, a lot of fun activities going on, people hanging out, maybe doing a little barbecuing, but I know one thing, we are holding it down on our 3rd floor clubhouse studios. I'm Maggie Wolfendale, joined by Andy Serling, as well as Paul LaDuca. Guys, you do sometimes.
Apparently.
Guys, we couldn't ask for a better day for Showcase Day.
No, I agree. And last year, of course, we had a terrible day. It rained all day. We almost thought we were going to cancel. Today is the opposite, and that's the way it should be. It's a great day celebrating the backbone of racing in New York.
No, you're right. And you know what? You joined us at the complete right time, because the Hudson, to me, is the best race of the sequence that you're going to have on the card. The other 3 races are great, but it's a challenging race to start it off. Some very, very good New York sprinters.
And we certainly had a challenging horse to come up with in our previous race to start off the late pick 5, which is a mandatory payout, 31-1 with EJ's Legacy. But checking out our track conditions, like I said, with this gorgeous weather, we are fast and we are firm here today, and a gorgeous 73 degrees, people soaking up the sunshine, that's for sure. But stakes action to abound here. We'll start things off with the Hudson, then we'll continue on with the turf horses, and as I said, Offering Plan, he looks to stand alone in that Mohawk. And then we're on to the Empire Distaff for the fillies and mares, mile and an eighth here on the main track. And we'll cap things off with a maiden special weight on the turf for the fillies and mares. But I do know one thing, if you're not a Naira Bets customer, you need to be. New members can get that $100 sign-up bonus. Just wager $100 in 14 days. You'll get $100 back. Make sure you go to NairaBets.com and enter that promo code LIVE. As we take a look at the horses that will comprise this Hudson field, well, some familiar names, that is for sure, as we are taking a look at your current favorite. It's a 3-year-old, actually, and T Loves a Fight. He has been in stellar form this year, guys.
No, T Loves a Fight has really gotten his act together, and he's held it all year. He started out sort of nowhere. Looked like he was going to be a cheaper claimer type, and it just hasn't been the case. Proved a lot for Mike Hushen, and hasn't skipped a beat since switching to Michelle Nevin's barn after Mike Hushen retired.
Yeah, these are always tricky conditions here, because a lot of people don't really like taking the 3-year-olds against the older horses. But I think at this time of the year, I think you can. And I think T Loves a Fight. It's just tough to argue with his record. You know what I mean? He loves to win races, period.
Well, and he's already soundly beaten 2 of the other older horses in here with Weekend Hideaway and Celtic Chaos. As we will kick things off with a post parade, we are brought to you by OCD Pellets, celebrating their 10th anniversary of supporting the equine industry with their 2-in-1 bone and joint supplement. Kicking things off is Bust Another, son of Bustin' Stones from Mike Pino.
This New York bred seems to be doing his best running in Philadelphia at Parks.
Number 2 is Pat on the Back, who will turn back in distance for Kenny McPeak and Harold Lerner.
Well, last win on this Colts chart was in a sloppy racetrack in the Sleepy Hollow last year for the $250,000 prize.
Weekend Hideaway will make his 4th appearance in the Hudson for Phil Serpy, this millionaire.
He's the only millionaire in this field, actually, and the 7-year-old has barely lost a step. Couldn't beat T Loves a Fight in Saratoga, but he seems to always deliver, especially in these spots.
Brad Cox is dangerous off the claim, and he was just that with number 4, Sudden Surprise, last time.
Well, you're right, Maggie. This horse moved up a ton and ran a giant race, maybe the best race of his career, and you can't argue with his record, 10 for 18 lifetime.
Number 5 is Celtic Chaos. He will drop out of the Grade 1 Vosburg.
Yeah, Celtic Chaos needs a very fast pace up front to do his best running, and he may be a bit better on a wet track.
David Jacobson owns and trains number 6, Australenka.
Well, you can argue this son of Muskelman's in the best form. 3 seconds, a first and a second in the last 5 starts. He's right there at the wire, and he got beat by El Deal a couple back. He should be part of this mix.
Charlie Baker won the 2014 edition of the Hudson with Moonlight Song. He will send out the 3-year-old Gold for the King.
He's been very good during his career, and he'll appreciate the cut back in distance. Can he run his best race up a 3-month layoff?
Your current 3-1 favorite is number 8 in here. T Loves a Fight from Michelle Nevin.
Never really runs a bad one. His career debut, and that's about it. 5 for 13 lifetime. He's the one to beat.
Going off a trainer change in here is number 9, I Love Lulu. This time around it will be for Jason Service and owner Michael Dubb.
Another who does his best running on a wet track, but Jason Service, a very dangerous trainer.
Jose Lascano will be aboard the long shot number 10, Candid Desire, currently 33-1.
You know, for 33-1, maybe you could reach for him in the bottom of your try and super. He seems like he's a better horse over at the Big A.
Paulie, how do we play this late pick 4 here? How many are you using in this, Hudson?
Well, I try to get out of this race only 3 deep, which is very dicey. This is a difficult race. A 7 can win this race. Celtic Chaos from way off the pace can win this race. So I went 3-6-8. 1-5-7 in the Mohawk. I'm going to take a shot and try to beat Offering Plan, and maybe Black Tide can get away from there. I'm confused in the Empire Distaff handicap. I think any horse can win that race. Verdant Pastures, I get it. Maybe he's the one to beat or she's the one to beat. I like Lulu's Pompom. I think the 7-2, the horse will go up. I think the horse is going to love the 7 for a long distance.
Well, on a day like today, it certainly is all about the owners and breeders, and we would like to welcome our 4th member of our team, Gabby Gaudette, who is standing by with Stuart Hoffman, the owner of number 8, He Loves a Fight. Gabby?
Thanks very much, Maggie. And you said it perfectly there. On a day like this, it's all about the breeders and the owners. And Stu, just talk a little bit about He Loves a Fight. He's been a pretty cool horse throughout, but he comes from a pretty special name as well.
Well, the person that named him is our cousin, whose name was Teresa. And she's Irish, and she said, I'm pretty feisty, so how about He Loves a Fight? So that's how he got his name. And as it turns out, everybody thought that he was named after Teresa Gennaro, who does a lot of work for New York breeders, and she was just going through cancer surgery. And we sort of all got together and gave her somebody to cheer for, and it worked out great.
How special is that you can kind of connect with other people within the industry or even outside of the industry and give them kind of hope out of just a simple horse?
Well, you know, I think that's why most of the people who are doing this are doing it. It's, you know, we're not giving up our day jobs to make our fortune in this business. So that's why we do it, for the people we meet and the friends we make.
And on a day like this, of course, you are an owner, but also a breeder. How special is it to send out a horse like this on a day like New York Showcase Day?
Well, it's great because this doesn't happen often, and when it happens, you're awful glad to be here.
Absolutely. Well, we'll let you go. Watch the race, and best of luck with He Loves a Fight.
Thanks a lot.
All right, guys. And, well, this is a very, very interesting race. Of course, He Loves a Fight, though. He looked absolutely phenomenal in the paddock. Just really tucked up and looked great. So I think he's got a good shot, Max.
I would say so, Gabby. Vote of confidence for Gabby with the 3-year-old He Loves a Fight. But will it be the 7-year-old? Will the 4th time be a charm for number 3, Weekend Hideaway? Stay tuned. We have the Hudson coming up next.
Kentucky Derby winner Orb has emerged as one of the nation's most promising young stallions. The leading freshman sale sire of weanlings, yearlings, and 2-year-olds, his first runners are off to a fast start. His debut winners have dazzled on the track, scoring on both dirt and turf. In the sales rate, his yearlings continue to command top prices, including the $1 million co-sale topper at Saratoga. Outstanding value, outstanding results, or standing at Claiborne Farm.
Make NyraBets your home for online horse racing and betting. Use NyraBets to bet on live horse racing from around the world. Bet from anywhere, anytime using your computer or mobile device. Earn valuable reward points on bets. Play in our exclusive promotions and earn cash rebates. Sign up at NyraBets.com and start earning your sign-up bonus today. NyraBets, racing's best play. Use promo code LIVE to get a $100 new member sign-up bonus on NyraBets.com.
Welcome back to Belmont Park Live here on MSG Plus as we're taking a look at the Showdown online contest. You don't have to wager anything, but if you top the mythical bankroll, you will earn 50,000 Naira Bets reward points, which is equal to $50, and a chance to win the sweepstakes of a 2018 Belmont Stakes prize pack valued at over $2,000. Go to BelmontShowdown.com and get involved now. Horses are behind the gate for this 6.5 furlong Hudson, as we'll take a look at the other 3-year-old in here, Andy, coming off a layoff, his Gold for the King, and boy, he has a string of nice workouts here for Charlie Baker.
Charlie Baker won with an improbable horse at a big price earlier today. Now, he's not the price I thought he might be. I thought he might get more than 4-1. I'm not thrilled with that, but this is a horse that's not a router, so I can dismiss his last race. Time before that, he shouldn't have lost, but he was coming 16 days after running against the best East Coast sprinters there is in the Woody Stevens on Belmont Day. Prior to that, he easily beat T Loves a Fight, and arguably was closer to a fast pace than T Loves a Fight that collapsed. T Loves a Fight's a 3-1 favorite. Now, he's done good things since then, but it feels like Charlie Baker's been waiting for this spot, and I like the 7 Gold for the King.
Well, you got to like the works, right? I mean, they're like clockwork. From 101, 101, it's minute and change, and he's getting bet like he's a good thing. Rosario gets aboard, and if you look at his races, the Woody Stevens, he really didn't have a shot either. He got left out of the gate that day. So at 4-1, I still think it's a good enough price. I left him out. He was the last horse I left out, but I think he's got a look in here. Plus, he brings a little speed to the party. You know what's interesting here, Maggie? No true front runner. There are a lot of stalkers in here.
Well, Sudden Surprise sometimes has some speed. He came from off of it last time, I will say, but Weekend Hideaway, he's not slow either.
No, I don't think so. Does Bust Another get to the front end in here? Maybe the 1 tries to send?
He's got to go from the inside. We'll see if Sudden Surprise uses his speed more than he used it last time. And we'll see how much speed you get in the outside from the 9, I Love Lulu. The pace is questionable here.
Well, they are just about set and ready for the run of this year's Hudson. Holding steady at 3-1. T Loves a Fight will throw it up to Larry Colmus, the voice of the Triple Crown, for the call.
And just a few runners left to load here for the Hudson. Sudden Surprise heading up to the starting gate, along with I Love Lulu. And that will leave Celtic Chaos and Candid Desire to complete the line as T Loves a Fight holds sway at 3-1 odds on the tote board here. Here comes Candid Desire, a long shot up to the outside stall to complete the line. Goes in. They're all in line. They're off in the Hudson. I Love Lulu, sharp from the start, out to the front with Bust Another away running in second. Weekend Hideaway is up there too. And then it's Pat on the back, Sudden Surprise, Australenka, T Loves a Fight, Candid Desire on the outside, Celtic Chaos, and the early trailer is Gold for the King. Up the backstretch and moving for the turn, I Love Lulu, 3/4 of a length ahead. Weekend Hideaway is going to get shuffled back on the inside. Passed by Australenka. T Loves a Fight moves now after a 22.82 quarter, and T Loves a Fight's right alongside of Weekend Hideaway. Sudden Surprise, Candid Desire, and right behind them is Pat on the back, who rides the rail 5 from the front. On the far outside is Gold for the King, trying to put in a bid but wide, then Celtic Chaos, and last of them all is Bust Another. They're coming toward the top of the stretch here. 46.16 was the half. And it is I Love Lulu turning for home with the lead. Australenka to the outside. Weekend Hideaway cuts the corner. T Loves a Fight comes up on the far outside. Pat on the back is getting going too. Behind horses but finishing well. I Love Lulu. Australenka. Pat on the back on the outside is coming on. And then comes T Loves a Fight. Weekend Hideaway on the inside, and on the far outside it is Candid Desire. They're coming down to the line. It's going to be a 3-way photo that goes to Australenka over I Love Lulu and Pat on the back. And then it was Celtic Chaos in 1 minute 16.75 seconds.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time that Australenko won a race here on New York Bred Showcase Day. The 2014 edition, when he was a 2-year-old of the Sleepy Hollow, went to this guy. And Joe Bravo, he's having a heck of a day.
He is, and he's been in good form, Australenko, but he's been hanging a lot this year.
Yep.
He didn't hang today. He managed to run down the pace setter, I Love Lulu. Thought for a chance we might have another ridiculous horse winning. His Pat on the back almost got it done. Pace made the race. They were walking up front.
Yeah, you know what? Sometimes these type of horses that do like to run second a lot, I think get helped by horses like the 2 that come to their outside, because it sort of re-engages them. They're sort of looking at the horse to the inside. Can I go by? When the 2 started rolling here, Now, Australenka started to kick it in a little bit, and then he wins this race comfortably. You're right. If the two would have won this race, would have lit up the tote board. But a good job by Bravo. And Jacobson's turned this horse's career around.
He's been in great form, and you pointed it out beforehand. You were right. The problem was he wasn't sealing the deal, but he had run races that had been good enough to win this race, and a couple of them he didn't have the best of trips. Last time was a disgraceful loss at 4-5.
He should have won last time.
He should absolutely have won that race and beaten those horses, but today he delivered when it mattered.
Extra half a furlong helped him here today. And guys, any real excuse for number 8, T Loves the Fight?
I didn't really notice where he was, but I do feel like horses were compromised by the pace in this race because it was hard to make up ground. That's a ridiculous pace. 22-4 is very slow early for this quality of horses. We've seen faster paces in the 2-year-olds going a mile today.
Yeah, that's very true.
Do you know, Celtic Chaos, or Celtic Chaos, excuse me, and Pat on the Back, they're the only two that made up ground because Australenka and I Love Lulu were first and second. T Loves the Fight was 3 or 4 ride, Maggie, but I didn't see much.
No, he just kind of evened out down the lane. But this guy, he finally put his nose and the head in front. It was all about Australenka. David Jacobson, owner and trainer, going home with the Hudson victory today, as well as Joe Bravo picking up 2 wins. And we will get more from those connections on the other side of this break, and also from this lady right here. She is going for the Breeders' Cup Filly Mare Turf to try to turn the tables in the 2017 edition. Stay tuned to Belmont Park Live.
Change the way you watch racing forever with the new Naira Now app. Live racing in English or Spanish. From a variety of camera angles, race replays, talking horses, race analysis, and a multitude of on-demand content, all in high definition. Naira Now is available on many platforms, including iOS, Android, Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire, and more coming soon. Download Naira Now today, free in the App Store, and start watching the best racing like never before.
Welcome back to Belmont Park Live on this New York Showcase Day. And we just saw the winner's circle with David Jacobson, the owner and trainer of this year's Hudson winner. That was all about Australenka as he paid $11.60 at 9-2, followed up by some long shots. So that 50-cent trifecta returning over $636. Gabby Gaudette is standing by with the winning rider. Having a great afternoon, Gabby. Is Joe Bravo.
Thank you very much, Maggie. Yes, Joe, congrats on a good day so far, but Australanka pulls off a little bit of an upset at 9-2, kind of surprising there. But Joe, what do you think has made the difference? This horse has been really close in the past few starts, just hasn't managed to get it done. What made the difference today?
It's horse racing. I mean, this is a Bice horse, and last 5 times I've rode him, he's always gave a winning effort, and happy to be somebody else in front of him. Today was just grateful to be in front of everybody else. You got to love him, though. You look at him in post-braid, he's so proud, and he's feeling good. And David just does a great job keeping him around and keeping the horse happy. He in post-braid, he drugged me around there, and that's just, he's going to be on the money today. And we were just thankful he ran a great race.
When a horse is kind of behaving like that before the race, does that just give you so much confidence when you step into the gate?
Of course, of course. I mean, I would have really been disappointed if I went out there and he was dead-headed and dull. But David's not going to bring a horse over there. He loves to win races, and I do too, and just glad to be part of the team.
And talk a little bit about the pace scenario, Joe. It kind of looked like they were going pretty slow in front of you.
Yeah, honestly, I was a little bit closer than I wanted to down the backside. And you can see around the turn, I kind of edged up to the leaders pretty easily. But I just tried to stay out of the big guy's way. He pulled me around and made me look good again, huh?
All right. Well, yes, he did. But you made him look good as well. Congratulations, Joe.
Have a great afternoon.
All right. Well, he's off, and he's off to a good start, Maggie.
Yes, yes, he is. Joe Bravo, always jolly and modest, guys.
He really is. And tell you what, he can finish too, and he's been a great rider for a long time.
And Jimmy Riccio, picking up his book, who's Jose Ortiz's agent as well, has done a very good job with him selectively getting on a lot of live horses.
That he has. 2 guys that are also really good, Luis Grandison and Darwin Vizcaya, leading the way in our Spanish-speaking content, pre-race analysis, and race calls, and much, much more. Here is Luis with his call of the Empire Classic.
Faltando 2:50, Twister Thomas mantiene clara ventaja de 3, 4, 5 cuerpos contra el grupo, tratando de sostener el segundo lugar. Twister Thomas está galopando el evento, mantiene clara ventaja. Twister Thomas ganando con Javier Castellani y Chabron, su segunda estelar hoy, segundo contra el grupo ahí sobre.
Twisted Tom, the 3-year-old, I mean, he was, a stick going into this race. He was much the horse to beat, and he certainly looked it down the lane.
A classic horse who's improved with every start. I mean, if somebody had said to us earlier this winter, Twisted Tom is not only going to win the Empire Classic, but do it at even money, you'd have laughed in their face.
Yeah.
And he just is a horse that seems to get better with every start. And I do think the second-place finisher, who ran so well in Saratoga, legitimized his form.
Yeah, control group. I'm with you for Rudy Rodriguez. Yeah, Twisted Tom, he just loves to win races. 7 for 10 lifetime. Creative Cause is slowly and slowly getting better and better as a sire.
He's been terrific. He's been hot in some sales, and he's been good.
On both surfaces as well. He's very proficient, and 3-year-olds made up the trifecta for this year's Empire Classic. As you see, control group, and can you dig it?
I got to admit something, though. Governor Malibu. He's just not the horse I wish he was.
You were kind of talking about Australanka being a bit of a hanger. He's probably even worse. He just doesn't have that killer instinct.
Yeah, I mean, the pace was slow, and he was back in last, but he should have run better than he did, and he's been a disappointment.
We can put the debate over that he was going to win the Belmont that year.
I never thought he was going to win the Belmont.
I still think he was going to run second.
I always think he would be 4th in that race anyway, but regardless of that, I still love Governor Malibu. I'll always love him, but he's not the horse I wish he was, at least this year.
Well, a horse that a lot of us didn't think he was the so-called turf horse Evaluator going into the Sleepy Hollow. Let's see how it played out.
Evaluators coming on. Inalienable Rights is 2 with Big Jemmy to catch. Big Jemmy the leader. On the outside, Evaluator. On the inside, Stony Bennett giving way his battle station. Here comes Evaluator. Evaluator and Big Jemmy. Evaluator and Big Jemmy 1-2 on the wire in the Sleepy Hollow.
And I know you're not thrilled about the result of this, as you did have Big Jemmy, but talking about sires that are proficient on either surface, Overanalyze seems to be another one of those.
Seemed like he was doing better with his turf horses. Listen, this is an impossible horse, at least for me to have. He beat a bad field when he won his turf race, and he's been terrible in 2 subsequent races. But at the end of the day, Paul, if you don't run, you can't win.
No, it was a race that fell apart. The 1 and 2 really went at it. They were the 1 and 2 choices. I'll tell you what, the 1 in there, Stony Bennett take nothing away from the winner. Ran well. Giant. Evaluator, listen, when He won nicely here. Good win for Michael Dilger, too.
Absolutely a big win for him. Pure Jemmy, and I bet him, and it was a tough beat. I thought Luis Saez was a little aggressive in making a first move and chasing after the leaders, and he was coming back a bit and got beat in the bob, but that's the way it goes in racing.
And we certainly saw some fast fractions. I mean, they went almost faster than the 6.5 furlongs.
Yeah.
For the
And the
Hudson.
Bustin' Stones horse that you mentioned on the rail, Stoney Bennett, he actually didn't break that well. He sort of broke in a bit and rushed up in there, and he didn't tire until very late. I thought he ran well.
He's got a big future, that horse.
40-20 for Evaluator. If you had him on top, congratulations. We've seen some pretty kind of unlikely results here today, as Burning Rose made sense. Absolutely, she was the longest price in a short field.
Yeah, she was a little tough to make in there, but she got the job done with Joe Bravo for Charlie Baker. Burning Rose, crazy overlay at 7-1 there. And a nice job by Domus Coutinho and Kendra Carmouche. And she was best because she was attending a very fast pace.
She's very good.
And the horse who finished second was taking advantage of her, and she still held her off. A nice effort there.
And 55 went by them like they were tied to a tree.
She's been running against better 3-year-olds.
That was a pretty good turn of foot. Yeah.
Ultimate class relief there for 55. As we learned some saddening news this week, a couple days ago, or yesterday we saw or 2 days ago, we saw the loss of FNX, a very talented New York bred who brought us a lot of memories here at the New York tracks, and a horse that I remember 17-1 2014. He won the Empire Classic.
You see Joe McMahon at McMahon Farms in Saratoga, just with him just a few days ago, and it is a sad loss. I mean, these horses become our friends.
Yeah.
And FNX was a great friend to racing, and he really embodies everything that's great about the game.
No, he really did. And, you know, the other thing is some great tweets. Rest in peace, FNX from Taylor B. Possibly the greatest name for a horse in recent memory. Always sticking his tongue out. You know, his mother was a runner. What a pair. I mean, when he was standing, I really felt that he was going to be very good, Maggie.
And obviously, Jimmy Jerkins knew what he had on his hands, devastated by the news of FNX death. He was a special horse to Jimmy, a true warrior, and a horse that, you know, as giving as they come. FNX always will be remembered by us. And he really was. He was kind of a bit of a blue-collared horse, but I mean, I remember he ran second in 2015 to American Pharaoh in the Breeders' Cup Classic as well.
Beat Tonalist when he won one of his 2 Suburbans. He also beat another very good New York bred, as we see him here beating Samrat. He went to Oaklawn and won the Oaklawn Handicap. He won the Grade 1 Clark, getting Jimmy Jerkins into the winner's circle
at Churchill
Downs. A sort of shocking picture. And he was just a wonderful racehorse that shipped all over the country and brought out his best. Race after race after race.
Yeah, kind of horse that matured as he got older, right? I mean, that's what you sort of love. And you don't really, I think a lot of people, and I even said this when we had our meeting this morning, what? You don't realize he's the 3rd leading money winner in New York bred history. It's crazy.
And I remember, and Maggie will remember this as well, in the winter before, and he finished 4th in the Wood Memorial as a 3-year-old.
Yes.
He won an allowance race at 36-1 one day in the Inner Aqueduct. And your initial reaction is, who's this ridiculous horse? And then you watch the race and you realize, this ridiculous horse ran a huge race, and he continued on through his career, and he won the Empire Classic as a 3-year-old.
I think David Smith was training him at that time when he won that allowance
Came to Jimmy Jerkins
race.
at Saratoga, who was second in the Albany, behind that So Lonesome horse.
So lonesome. Wow. Good memory there, Andy. But speaking of the Breeders' Cup, another contingent that we see heading out to Del Mar, the very, very fast Disco Partner. He will try his hooves over the Del Mar course, 5 furlongs in the Breeders' Cup Sprint. We will catch up with him and others on the other side of this break.
Shadwell Farm, home to world-class stallions, presents 2 young stars. Mo Heyman, undefeated 2-year-old, multiple graded stakes winner at 2 and 3. A dazzling son of Tappet, winner of his first 5 career starts, 4 in graded stakes. Grade 1 winner, Tamarcuz, winner of the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile. This son of Speightstown was a top international miler that earned over $1.8 million. Shadwell Farm, building speed for the future.
Play Plus provides a fast and easy way to make deposits and cash out of your NyraBets account. Make purchases with your Play Plus card everywhere Discover is accepted. Use your credit or debit card to fund Play Plus with high approval rates. Easily transfer funds from Play Plus directly into your NyraBets account. Enjoy instant withdrawals, no enrollment fees, and no monthly fees. Choose Play Plus for easy deposits. Sign up for your Play Plus account today at NyraBets.com.
to Belmont Park live on this beautiful showcase day on this wonderful October afternoon of the 21st, as taking a look at the North Shore Towers. Pretty iconic kind of skyline here in New York, but we aren't the only state that has state-bred racing featured today. Laurel Park has Maryland Million Day, and as always, you can use your Naira Bets account, and any race that you wager at Laurel today, you'll earn twice the amount of reward points. Make sure you go to NairaBets.com and do all your Laurel wagering on Naira Bets, of course. Well, we will check out the field for this year's edition, the 39th running of the Mohawk Mountain 16th on the inner turf course, guys. Chad Brown will only send out one. He did scratch the Nevisian Sky in here, but at 1 to 5, we see number 5, Offering Plan.
This is a little bit short, especially for a horse that has to come from way back. And he's also a horse that, he's the best horse in the race. But he's a horse that ran, Paul, 2 weeks ago in Keeneland. He's got to ship back here and come over and run his best race. He's the right horse, but 1 to 5?
Yeah, I get it. You know, the other horse in here for Chad scratched the 2. But you make a good point that the horse has to come back here. I know coming out of the Grade 1 and now into State-Bred Company, where, by the way, he's only won 1 time. It's not like he's a lock when he comes into New York Company.
But he doesn't have his chief rival, Get Jets, in here.
Yeah,
I mean, that's been the hard thing for him, is that Get Jets so good. We don't know why Get Jets isn't running in the race.
He's actually pointing to the Red Smith at Aqueduct next month.
Stretch him out to a 1 3/8.
Yeah. Good luck. But as we talk about pace in here, the likely speed is from the outside in number 7, Black Tide.
Yeah, he's going to go. And I'll tell you something. I don't care where he finished. I love Black Tide. And I love what Dave Canizzo's done with him. He's done something that not enough people do. He has let this horse use his speed as a weapon. And he almost shocked him in Saratoga when he led until deep stretch. And this was a very, very fast pace. But it was also on a turf course that was very conducive to front-running inside speed.
Yeah, it was on that day. You know, the thing that he has going for him today, does Black Tide, is as you see him running here, he runs 4th, is that Get Jets was on him early, a speedier horse. With quality, there's nobody in here with that kind of speed with quality, so he's going to get a tiny little break, I think, at least in the middle of this race, and not have to go too fast.
Well, Get Jets actually closed in that race along with Offering Plan, but he faced significant, there was serious speed in that race, and they were moving up there. He just plays come and catch me, and you got to love it. The thing is, Cluntia on the rail has speed as well.
Yeah.
He's not going to do what Black Tide does, but I think he's a better finisher.
Yeah, he is. I do agree with you there. But somebody who has their eyes down on the paddock to let us know how these horses look is Gabby Gaudette, and she has a paddock report, which is brought to you by Shadwell Farm, building speed for the future. Gabby?
Thanks very much, Maggie. And taking a look and starting off with your current favorite in the 5, Offering Plan. Look, he's clearly the horse to beat, and he looks good for Chad Brown. All of Chad's horses look great in the afternoon here. He is, I guess, a little bit on the docile side. We'll see if he can kind of pick up his energy levels as he gets out to the track. So really interested to see maybe what kind of warm-up they give this particular horse. And maybe there is a question whether or not that race, the Shadwell Turf Mile, just 2 weeks ago did take a little bit out of him. And we also have to consider that maybe the pace dynamic isn't really conducive to his running style, as he's been known to kind of lag far behind. But there's no doubt about it. He is the class of the race, and he is simply the horse to beat. As we go to the outside, the 7, Black Tide, he will clear from the outside post position, and that is what he's done in the past several starts. It's kind of fun to see this horse race every afternoon. The only concern, I would say, his race last time out against Annals of Time was amazing. He almost pulled off the slight upset against Annals of Time, but I almost wonder if stretching out to a 1 1/16, even though he's won at this distance, might be a touch far for him, especially when he's going against really solid competition. But he is the main speed as we check into with the 1, Cluntia, who I don't think is going to be too far off of the pace. And I remember talking to Jimmy Jerkins before his race 2 starts back, and he said, or before his last race, and I asked him what was his excuse 2 starts back, or what did he think about that performance. He said he's a better horse when he comes back down to Belmont. He's never really transitioned well up at Saratoga. And I thought he ran a good race given the pace dynamics of his last race. So maybe if you're looking for an outsider other than the likely speed and the heavy favorite, Cluntia, guys, might be a good fit.
And Gabby, he does like this turf course. 8 starts, 3 wins, 2 seconds, and a third. So Gabby having thoughts about Cluntia, guys. I mean, as we were saying, he's likely to be somewhat of a pace presence in here. Down from the rail, he has to have an advantageous kind of post position.
I like his position because he won't be compromised by Black Tide because he can sit close enough to that one. And I think he makes the first move to him. I got to root for the 1 or 7 in this race anyway because you've got him in the pick 4 and you're live and they're the best prices. But I think Cluntia showed last time actually how good his form is because he was kind of interesting last time as a potential wire horse, speed horse. He ended up rating, and I still think he ran a respectable race.
I think Irad Ortiz, who's aboard the 1, has to take the approach of, okay, let's let Black Tide go, try to turn it into a 2-horse race. If Offering Pran's going to go buy these horses, he's just going to go buy them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. We'll see if class does prevail here in this Mohawk as we have the call to post here. I think that's Sam the Bueller's brother, as Sam is down at Maryland Million Day. But leading off this post parade is Cluntia for trainer Jimmy Jergens, Irad Ortiz, and William Lynn.
The second choice for a reason. His form has been very good, and he can be more forwardly placed.
Number 3 is All Is Number. This guy is third off of a layoff for Tom Bush, who has won this race 2 times in the past. Joe Bravo in the irons.
He's not untalented. He could definitely get a piece of the price.
Wrapped is for Bobby Robato and Mark Keller.
I think of the 3 long shots, the livest one, because this horse cutting back in distance was not far behind Black Tide the time they faced.
Current 1-5 favorite is number 5 in here. Chad Brown seeking his first Mohawk win. Javier Castellano rides.
He's the best horse in the race. He's my top pick, but he's overbet at 1-5, and he's a deep closer in a race where the pace is strong.
Another horse driving at a Grade 1 company is number 6, Converge, for Paul Chatterpaul.
Yeah, the blinkers came off at 151, and that wasn't the recipe.
Next, we'll check in with the speedy number 7, Black Tide. Dave Canizzo has done great work with this horse off the claim for Ivory Sisters Racing.
You gotta love his take no prisoners running style, and he's a good horse and a talented, dangerous speedball. He'll be out there winging.
He's certainly exciting to watch, as is always using OCD pellets as they brought us our Mohawk post parade. Well, on the flip side of this break, we will see if Black Tide can roll Tide roll, as he will be winging it out on the front end beneath Jose Lescano. Stay tuned to Belmont Park Live.
Undefeated in sprint competition, Eclipse champion Run Happy captured 3 Grade 1 victories and set blistering speed records at both Keeneland and Saratoga. In the Breeders' Cup Sprint, he dominated the world's fastest runners, going 6 furlongs in a record-breaking 108 and change. The only horse nominated for 3 Eclipse awards, Run Happy was crowned champion male sprinter, all the while racing 100% drug-free. Champion, millionaire, record breaker, Run Happy, standing at Claiborne Farm.
Welcome back to Belmont Park Live, and the park itself is looking resplendent on this beautiful fall day, New York Showcase Day. We are 4 minutes away from our Mohawk, but a sire who has certainly made a splash in his first season, or his first two-year-old crop, is Orb, standing for $25,000. You got to think that'll go up. This dual Grade 1 winner was a leading sales sire for first crop juveniles with 3 foals this past year, selling for over 7 figures, or selling for 7 figures. So Orb off to a great start for Claiborne Farm for stallion duties, as we are on the track for this Mohawk here, guys. And we'll take a look once again at number 1, Cluntia. As I said, he does have an affinity for this course, for this distance. I mean, he is the current second choice at 3-1. We see the odds evening it out just a little bit, 1-2 now on offering plan.
Yeah, 1-2 is a little more realistic for him. And Cluntia, how about a sentimental route for him, for Jimmy Jerkins, the trainer of FNX?
Yeah, I mean, a horse that took a shot, you're seeing this race at sort of Black Tide, and then Annals of Time sort of ran by on both. And Black Tide started lugging out deep in this race, and Cluntia's just sort of stuck to the rail. I mean, they're not far apart at all.
And coming up and trying to close inside a Black Tide from the inside like that, it's not the position you want to be in. And in this situation, Black Tide will clear, and Cluntia will be sitting second. He'll be setting up shop outside of him. I just think coming inside of him, and I'll tell you something, Annals of Time, who beat them, I know it was his first start in almost a year, he's a horse could be a player in the Breeders' Cup Mile.
Exactly. I mean, that horse is just hands and heels above the rest of that field as far as class is concerned. But, Gabby, I know you're taking a look at trackside number 5 offering plan, and also what can you tell us about the long shot All Is Number?
Well, offering plan, as I was saying, he was kind of, I wouldn't say lethargic, but docile in the paddock there. But as soon as he kind of came out to the track, now look, he stayed with the pony throughout, but his ears pricked up really nicely. I just think he shifted his energy in a very positive way once he put his hooves on the track here. So, guys, it's simple as that. I do think he's the horse to beat right now at 1-2. But one horse who, look, he's going to have to vastly improve in order to be effective in this type of race, but he's a long shot, and I think he might be able to outrun his odds, is the 3 All Is Number. This is a horse who was just dappled head to toe, and he looks fantastic coming out for the Tom Bush barn. I don't necessarily think he prefers being on the lead, and that's where he was last time out at 9 furlongs. He's not going to be in that position with the presence of Black Tide today, so maybe just can settle from off the pace. And like I said, he's going to have to run his best race, or maybe even better than that, but he looks great in the flesh today.
Gabby, thank you. We'll see if All His Number can run to his looks here. I think he is one that certainly deserves a look. Third off of a layoff. As we'll also check in with number 4, Wrapped, and several horses kind of dropping out of open company, and he is just one of them. He will be likely making his kind of last run with offering plan.
You know, it's interesting. He used to have a little bit more speed, this horse, and be closer. And you wonder if in a race, like, I'm not saying he's going to be in front, but you wonder if you try to get a spot sort of in behind with like an All His Number and Cluntia and not be far out of it. He ain't out closing the favorite in this race. And I'll tell you, I agree with you, Paul. Like, let's say you think the favorite's going to win and you don't like one of the 2 second choices. I would use him second or more third in tries.
No, I'm with you. And I actually bet him last time. I was so confused that he was 11th out of 11th going a mile and a quarter. I thought he was going to be up close.
Agreed.
And he just passed tiring horses. I think he'll be better today. Now, when you get to the 7 Black Tide, you know, 2-1 on the morning line to 4-1. Is this horse not getting bet at all, or is the 5 just getting overbet?
Well, I don't think the 5 is dramatically overbet at 3-5. There's a big difference between 3-5 and 1-5.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, how could the 5 be more than 4-5 in this race? He's the best horse. He's coming out of a Grade 1, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know. I think a lot of people feel the way we've talked, that Cluntia of the 2 speeds is the more adaptable horse.
Right. I mean, it does seem as though, too, Jose Lascano knows how to ride these horses that like to kind of go out there and wing it. He's very adaptable to them, and he seems to get the most out of them. You think back to Saratoga and Voodoo Song and what he was able to do with that horse.
Yeah, very similar. You almost wonder if Linda saw Black Tide and the tactics they were using with Black Tide, and thought these are the right tactics for Voodoo Song, because you're absolutely right. They're almost mirror images of each other, and it's great because both of them were hugely successful, and we harp so much on the fact that people don't use the horse's speed as much as they should.
Well, they're going to go fast here. Listen, Cluntia and Black Tide, they're like 108, 109, 110. 110. They go pretty fast.
Well, the mile and a 16th dogleg course
I was just
here,
going to say,
if
it's
they
such
go
an odd
24,
configuration.
it's almost fast.
Yeah, it's
so
almost
I don't
fast,
think
yeah.
you'll see that kind of pace. But if you see 47 for the half, that's moving on this course.
All right, we'll see what fractions they dole off here for this. Mohawk will send it upstairs to Larry Comas with the call.
3 to 5 right now on offering plan as Black Tide is coming up to the outside stall. He and Jose Lezcano take their spot in line. They're all in line, ready for a start. They're off in the Mohawk, and there goes Black Tide right out to the early lead, but he's got company from Cluntia to the inside. All his number will sit just behind them. Converge is next. Offering plan will be second last, and Wrapped is the trailer. Black Tide onto the backstretch in front. Cluntia taken hard in hand behind Black Tide. They don't appear to be going that fast early on here. All his number is third, 3.5 lengths off the lead. Converge has 6 to make up, and then Offering Plan and the trailer is Wrapped 24.7 for the opening quarter mile. So up the backstretch they go, and Black Tide says, "Come on, boys, let's go." He opens up to lead by 4.5 lengths. Cluntia running in second. And then it's all his number, third by 3. Converges fourth. Offering Plan now about 12 lengths behind Black Tide. The trailer is Wrapped. So they continue through a 47.92 half. The pace has picked up. Black Tide out there doing his thing. He's in front by 4.5 lengths. Cluntia and all his number together, second and third by 3. Converges fourth. Offering Plan and Javier Castellano still 10 lengths off of Black Tide at this stage and leading only Wrapped around the far turn. Black Tide with a 4-length lead here, 3/4 in 111.41. He turns for home with a 4-length advantage on all his number. Cluntia's next on the outside, then comes Converge. Offering Plan is in behind horses, needs a path through and needs to pick up a lot of ground to get Black Tide. Black Tide coming to the 8th pole. He's got a 4-length lead. Offering Plan is on the inside, then comes Converge on the far outside. It's Wrapped. Black Tide's going to try to hold off Offering Plan, and he's going to do it. Black Tide takes the Mohawk. Offering Plan came too late. Wrapped was third, Converge was fourth at a final time of 1 minute 40.98 seconds.
Black Tide, he stole this one, and an absolutely brilliant ride by Jose Lezcano to kind of dole out the fractions that he did.
Well, we were talking about it while we were watching the race. It's tough to go that fast in that weird dog-led course the first quarter, so he was very much controlled. When they got the backstretch, he obviously opened it up, going almost to 23 flat second quarter, 23.18, and he had enough in reserve. Now, in fairness, and he's the best, and it's cool to see him win. Offering Plan lost this race when, and it was good riding on Wrap by Manny Franco. He shut the door on him and forced him to try to rally inside instead of getting ahead of steam outside of horses.
Yeah, Manny tried to keep him pinned in because I think Manny thought he had horse, which he did. Wrap ran good third. He was back there too. The two horses that were last and second to last run second and third. And the horse that's running around first the whole time wins it. And you made a great point because you said right before the race, if they go 24, they're going to go fast. He went 24-4, a little bit under 48, but then you said he's going to open up. And when he opened up, he won the race.
No, no question. And listen, this is a horse that's been cool all year long. I mean, we saw him with that race at Aqueduct, Maggie. We were there, and that day Joel Rosario let him open up, and he just ran away from an inferior field. But they've used these tactics all year, and what better way to celebrate him than New York Bred Showcase Day at the end of the year?
And that was one of the most memorable risers just when Joel had come back to New York as well. And what a pickup for $25,000. Dave Canizzo has now won 5 races with this horse, plus a stake on top of it all.
Yeah, no, it's great for Dave Canizzo, and he should be rewarded because he understood this horse's talents and he understood his speeds, and he didn't get in the way of his horse's talents. And David deserves this and deserves a ton of credit.
And listen, the whole family, I mean, on this day, they're one of the most involved in the New York breeding program.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, we'll catch up with the winning connections on the other side of this break. But first, we are going to take a look at the champ herself. That is Lady Eli. We'll see if she can grab that elusive Eclipse win after the Breeders' Cup. Stay tuned.
Change the way you watch racing forever with the new Naira Now app. Live racing in English or Spanish. From a variety of camera angles, race replays, talking horses, race analysis, and a multitude of on-demand content, all in high definition. Naira Now is available on many platforms, including iOS, Android, Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire, and more coming soon. Download Naira Now today, free in the App Store, and start watching the best racing like never before.
Graded stakes winner and multiple Grade 1 performer Trap Shot is aiming to become Tappett's top son at stud. Already among the top sires of 2-year-old winners, his recent runners include graded stakes winner Wild Shot, as well as Oklahoma Derby victor Untrapped. At the sales, his yearlings have fetched prices up to $480,000. Trap Shot, standing at Claiborne Farm.
Upsets abound here on this New York Showcase Day, featured on Belmont Park Live, and none other in the Mohawk with a mild upset. Black Tide beating out 3-5 favorite Offering Plan, and we were just giving Dave Canizzo kudos, and Gabby Gaudette is standing by with the winning trainer.
Thanks very much, Maggie. And Dave, well, first of all, this is a very, very cool horse, but go back to the beginning of the race and Jose Lezcano's strategy just initially coming out of the gate.
The idea was obviously the same as always, to open up early. But we know that extra 16th is always an issue, so he was just going to try and nurse him around the turn before he let him out. And he actually outbroke the gate. I don't know if you could see it. He popped through before the latch sprung. And then he said he like half hedged away from the temporary rail and ducked in. He goes, I almost sawed everybody off. He goes, so I grabbed him again, and it actually worked out because then I slowed him down even more, and then I let him kick from there.
And what was your thoughts coming down the stretch as the favorite was kind of inching closer and closer?
I really, truthfully, didn't panic that much because Jose really hadn't really got after him too hard yet. And I was like, he's still got a little horse left, you know?
For such a fast horse in the afternoon, what is he like in the morning? Is he tough to train?
Yeah. He's difficult all the time. He's a nervous horse around the barn, stall running, you know, just he's always amped up. That's his mentality. That's how he is.
And the interesting thing is, too, Dave, you claimed him back into your barn. Did you just think that you had something special there that you had to keep?
Well, we liked him a lot. I lost him, and the whole idea was to claim him for the grass. So I never got to do what we wanted because it was the middle of winter. So when we took him back, we just gave him the time and waited for the turf.
Well, he's definitely a cool horse. Congratulations on this one.
Thank you very much. It was a big one.
Yeah, it definitely was. And Black Tide, guys, well, he's got a need for speed.
That he does. Gabby certainly just likes to roll on the front end. Black Tide does, and Dave Canizzo picking up his second stakes win as a trainer. Well, as we were talking about earlier, Lady Eli, she will be heading to the Keeneland November sale as she will try to avenge that Breeders' Cup filly and mare turf. This year she lost by just a nose. Last year the brilliant mare has overcome laminitis, a disease that usually horses do not come back, and she's come back with a vengeance, winning 10 of her 13 career starts. Gabby Gaudette, or excuse me,
but it's Lady Eli into Rad Ortiz with a green run and a Breeders' Cup victory. Sunset.
When I think about that first Breeders' Cup win. I didn't really know what we had. I didn't know enough. I was sort of, we win a race. They're like, oh, you get to go to this grade 3. Great, we win the grade 3. Hey, you guys should go out to California. We almost didn't go. It's like, yeah, it's a Breeders' Cup. You guys have a good chance. Oh, we go, we win. Wow. I mean, you didn't really appreciate it. I think now that we've owned more horses and been doing this for longer, you realize that we might do this for another 20 years, but we might never have a horse that's as special as this one.
And here she comes, and she has bursted to the lead.
How could it be real? How could we have the best 3-year-old filly on turf in the country, maybe the world? Nope, didn't feel real at all.
Lady Eli, she crushed them.
After she stepped on the nail and got laminitis, we obviously went from the highest of highs you can have in this sport to very quickly the lowest of lows. It wasn't clear to us at all, and nor to Chad, whether she was going to survive. Forget about come back.
Not only does she come back from it, she races again. She wins grade 1 races. It's incredible, and it's so fun to watch her run because of the fact that she's been through so much. You have to be a fan. Lady Eli has won the Flower Bowl.
We've got some unfinished business here from what we weren't able to accomplish last year. That beat last year hurt. Walking out of that race at Santa Anita where she had won it as a 2-year-old, we really felt like we had a good chance to win. We got beat by a great horse with a terrific ride by Frankie Dettori and just got clipped at the wire. That nose was a painful nose, but hopefully we'll get another chance to come back and sort of redeem that loss from last year, and she goes out on top.
We're excited to get to the Breeders' Cup and hopefully cap off a stellar career with a win and a championship for her, much deserved. But huge loss for the barn when we eventually come in one day and she's not here, and we're all prepared for that. But it doesn't make it any easier.
And the fact that she's entered in the sale just a few days after the Breeders' Cup, it's bittersweet. We've talked about it a lot. We went to dinner last night. We talked about it at some length. It's a really, really hard decision for us because we feel like she's become a part of our families, more so than other horses have because of what she's gone through, because of how good she is, because she's come back from so much.
It's not about the money. It's not about the trophies. It's about showing everybody what a special animal she is, and we're hoping that on this big stage here in a couple weeks, she shows everybody what we know she can do.
Lady Eli has certainly taken Saul Cumin and Jay Hanley on quite a ride. She being one of their first horses, they don't come along like this. The tenacity that this filly has shown and the courage that she has displayed on the racetrack, we will likely not see again in quite some time.
No, I mean, she's just had a remarkable career, and obviously you throw in the injury as well. It's a remarkable story. Remember her debut at Saratoga when she was bet off the board. Word was out she was a runner. She was hopelessly beaten, blocked in traffic with about 100 yards to go, and somehow found the will to win, and she continued with that throughout her career, Paul.
Well, what makes her a Hall of Famer is that she is 10 for 13 lifetime, because after she was 6 for 6 with the Belmont Oaks win, that was the coming out party for me to saying this is probably one of the best American-bred fillies we've seen in a while on the turf. Then she got, obviously, laminitis and a lot of issues, and she still turned to be a grade 1 filly, and I don't think she's still the same horse that she was before, and it just shows you, like Maggie was saying, the heart that she has, that she's still a champion.
No, she's been sensational throughout her career. I mean, 2 of her losses have been in grade 1 races, one in the Breeders' Cup by a nose. I mean, she lost last year by a nose. She lost that race at Keeneland to start this year by a nose. Another race was her comeback from being out for a year plus and having laminitis. Remarkable horse.
Right, and you got to think that she probably wasn't all that tight for that return race, and she is being offered by Hillendale Sales Agency. She is hip number 271. Now, she can be sold as a racing prospect again. Likely that won't happen. She will be likely sold as a broodmare prospect.
You would like to think that she's done enough after the Breeders' Cup and the connections that buy her, whoever they are, will probably retire her, but you just don't know.
I'll tell you what, that clock's going to be going for a long time, because I think a lot of international people, where there's a lot of turf races, are going to be coming in looking at her for a nice little broodmare.
That is for sure. We'll all be tuned in to the Keeneland sales. That's for sure for that November sale. And it's all about the sisters coming up next in the Empire Distaff. We'll see a rematch between JC's American Dream and JC's Shooting Star. They met up last time in the Saratoga Do. We'll see who comes out on top here on Belmont Park Live.
#1 sire of 2-year-olds, Warfront, continues to command top prices with yearlings this year, bringing up to $1.9 million. On the track, Warfront has sired recent Grade 1 winner Avenge, Grade 1 victress Brave Anna, and graded stakes winning juveniles in France, England, and Ireland, Roly Poly, War Decree, and Intelligence Cross. A leading sire on all fronts, from Paris, Kentucky to Paris, France. Claiborne Farms, Warfront.
Make NyraBets your home for online horse racing and betting. Use NyraBets to bet on live horse racing from around the world. Bet from anywhere, anytime using your computer or mobile device. Earn valuable reward points on bets. Play in our exclusive promotions and earn cash rebates. Sign up at NyraBets.com and start earning your sign-up bonus today. NyraBets, racing's best play. Use promo code LIVE to get a $100 new member sign-up bonus on NyraBets.com.
Hey, I'm Jersey Joe Bravo, and you're watching Belmont Park Live.
Welcome back to Belmont Park Live. We are presented by Claiborne Farm, 100 years of doing the usual unusually well. And if you're not a NyraBets member, you should be. And if for those new members, when you wager 100, you will get 100 as well. Just go to NyraBets.com to qualify for your $100 promotion. Next, we will check in with the Empire Distaff. This one for the fillies and mares, Mount of 16th on the main track. And oddly enough, we see favoritism going to Bonita Bianca, the 3-year-old here in this field.
Yeah, I think by post time, looking at multi-race bets, she'll be second choice behind the 4 Verdant Pastures. And I'm a bit with Paul on this one, to be honest. He used all in here. This is a very tricky race.
It is a tricky race because Literata's getting under bet, and I think Bonita Bianca. I thought that morning line was a little high, but there's some other horses, Verdant Pastures, you don't really know what to do with. You know, it's tough to do with these horses. This horse went by 14.5 lengths last time, not against much, but it's a tricky, tricky race. It really is.
Well, maybe to shed a little more light on this race, guys, we'll check in with Gabby Gaudette for the Paddock Report. As always, it is brought to you by Shadwell Farm, building speed for the future. Gabby?
Thank you very much, Maggie. And well, there's three three-year-olds coming out, going against older company today. And one of them is your favorite, the 6, Bonita Bianca. And I really do like what I see from at least observing her in the paddock. She just looks like a bit of a quirky filly. She was saddled in the stall. There was the pony in front of her just so that she could keep calm and settled. But I think she looks great for Rudy Rodriguez. And I think she has a big shot in here as well. As we'll transition to the 4 Verdant Pastures for Charlie Baker. Well, she's coming off of an explosive victory last time out. And I asked Charlie just now, does he think that she might be a better 2-turn horse, 1-turn horse, or does it just boil down to getting at a distance? And he said he does kind of lean on maybe she's a better 2-turn horse because she's been known to kind of tie up a little bit in the morning and the afternoon, so she doesn't take pressure well. She needs to be on the lead and she needs to be able to settle, and 2 turns just helps her to do that. Does anybody else go with her here today? I'm not so sure, but if she does get tested, guys, I don't know if that's going to bode well for her, but she does come in off of an impressive win.
Thank you, Gabby. And Verdant Pastures, does she play out to be the speed here, guys? Because as Gabby said, and we've seen it in every single one of her races, if she is pressured or she doesn't make the lead, she completely throws in the towel.
Yeah, I mean, something may have happened back in March because we didn't see her for 5 months, but I agree with that. And with the presence of Might Be, I mean, around here you never know if speed's going to go. But if Might Be was entered in this race to rate, you really have to ask yourself, what the heck were they doing even bothering bringing her over for? And Verdant Pastures set a very moderate pace last time, and she didn't attract this very kind inside speed. Not a huge bias, but a very kind to that running style. She's not going to be doing that on this racetrack today, Paul.
No, because when you watch this, what you're watching right now, how the heck is she 5-1? I mean, it's just the bottom line. I mean, if you're visually watching the last race, you're saying, okay, this filly is really matured. She won by a pole. Who'd she beat? Well, the horse came back, did win a little bit lesser, but I just 5-1 scares me right now on this horse.
Well, she's going to be favored based on multis, and there's
Yes.
a lot of time left to go. I just don't think she's going to get that same comfortable trip up front. If she does, she's going to win.
No, but a quick note on the other speed horse you were alluding to is a long shot. Might be Kendra Carmouche not going to ride. Dylan Davis is aboard here today as we'll take a look at the other 3-year-old. There are 4 here in this Empire Distaff. Bonita Bianca, and she has yet to face older company, though.
And from a speed figure standpoint, she has not been as fast as she was as a 2-year-old, and that is a bit of a concern. But I will say that last time her race is much better than it looks, as she was forced to chase the heavy, heavy favorite Sunset Ridge around 2 turns at Saratoga.
What I do like about the 6 is they added blinkers when going more distance. Usually trainers take the blinkers off to get a horse to relax. They gave this horse blinkers, and I thought that she improved going longer with the blinkers. So I'm with Andy. I don't think 5-2 is the right price, but I think the 6 is very live. Obviously, the board's telling you that.
Bonita Bianca, her owner is a guy that we see a lot around these parts, so is very recognizable. Yellow and pink silks of Michael Dubb, who is standing by with Gabby Gaudette.
Yes, you definitely can't miss the silks, Maggie, that's for sure. But, Michael, you send out Literata and Bonita Bianca in here today. What could you tell us about these 2 fillies?
Well, Bonita Bianca, she is out of a Grade 1 winning mare. And when we bought her, she's a Curlin filly. We bought her for a reasonable number because she had shins we had to let cool out. She gave us a really big year last year. And this year, we ran into an absolute monster at Saratoga with Chad. We don't see any horses like that in this race. She's weighted well, and she's training well, so we're keeping our fingers crossed for a big run.
And Literata, of course, she's kind of that old hard knocker as well.
Literata's been like an ATM machine. We claimed her for $40,000 a couple of years ago, and every time she goes out there, she gives it her all. Often it's enough to get it done, but if it isn't, it's enough to get us a check.
Well, it seems like every day you've got a horse entered here, and you're a big, big supporter, of course, of the program. How has the New York bred program kind of transitioned or developed in the past couple of years, in your opinion?
Well, just look around Belmont today. All the people are here. There's a camaraderie among all the New York owners. Everybody is friendly. A lot of people down from Saratoga, a lot of people down from the farms. And I think it's a day that people really look forward to. It's a real real feel-good day. And New York has a phenomenal program, and this is the day everybody gets together and kind of celebrates it.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Best of luck here.
Thank you.
All right, Maggie, back to you.
Gabby, thank you. And as he was also alluding to, Literata, I mean, she certainly earned her $483,000 the hard way, as we just got the cue for the post parade from the Bugler. And this post parade brought to you by OCD Pellets. This one is for the Empire Distaff, and kicking things off is JC's American Dream. Will go first time out for Linda Rice. Joe Bravo.
Claimed out of a $25,000 claimer last time, but gave Literata all she could handle with a good trip 2 back at Saratoga.
Number 2 is Pride of Saratoga for Jeremiah Engelhardt. This filly was shipped back downstate after several tries this year at Finger Lakes.
She's used her speed in her last 4 races to have 3 wins in 2 seconds, 15-1 today.
The other mare out of American Passage is number 3, JC's Shooting Star. She'll go out for Dave Donk and Shooting Star Stable.
She goes turf to dirt, and she's run well enough to get a piece here.
Verdant Pastures currently 5-1 is number 4, Manny Franco, up for Charlie Baker.
This filly by Colonel John absolutely jogged last time, but she needs to sort of be by herself. Does she get that comfortable lead today?
1 3-year-old we haven't mentioned is number 5, No Hain, No Gain, Steve Asmussen, and Toby Sheets. Will have Joelle Rosario in the irons.
She returned off a near 5-month layoff last time to run a very good race, but she has been blown away by Verdant Pastures in the past.
Bonita Bianca will try Older Company for the first time. Rudy Rodriguez and Irad Ortiz will ride.
It seems like she runs well at any type of racetrack. Her 2 races at Belmont, both wins.
Dylan Davis will be aboard number 7, Might Be for Chris Engelhardt.
Might Be looks like a pace factor in this race, but hard to see her beating these horses, especially at the distance.
Literata 2 starts back, won the Saratoga Dew. She is number 8. She is trained by Rudy Rodriguez, and she is owned by Michael Dubb.
She's another mare that just sort of runs the same race, but it seems like it's good enough. And she does like Belmont. She's 9 for 13 in the try.
Riding a 2-race win streak into this distaff will be the Jimmy Jerkins trainee, 5-star Rampage.
She is improving, but she beat a very weak field at Parks last time.
5-star Rampage is also 3 for 3 at this distance. Can she make it 4 for 4 here in this Empire Distaff? Stay tuned. We'll see if she can also extend her streak for 3 wins in a row for her connections. You're watching Belmont Park Live.
Change the way you watch racing forever with the new Naira Now app. Live racing in English or Spanish. From a variety of camera angles, race replays, talking horses, race analysis, and a multitude of on-demand content, all in high definition. Naira Now is available on many platforms, including iOS, Android, Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire, and more coming soon. Download Naira Now today, free in the App Store, and start watching the best racing like never before.
Welcome back to Belmont Park Live, brought to you by Claiborne Farm. And standing at Claiborne Farm is Run Happy for a $25,000 stud fee in 2017. He was a three-time grade-winning millionaire, the Eclipse champion sprinter, and undefeated in sprint competition, going 7 for 7. Claiborne Farm standing some very nice horses, and he occupies stall number 1. Some lofty names have been there before, such as Secretariat. Well, we are just about 3 minutes away from our 10th race. This is the Empire Distaff, and we see Literata warming up. As you just heard Michael Dubbs say in his interview with Gabby Gaudet, saying that she's like an ATM machine, and she certainly is. I mean, she's put a lot of money in the bank. This 6-year-old mare just seems to show up every time.
No, you can't really knock her. I mean, she's as honest as they come. You wonder a little bit if they thought she wanted 2 turns in that Saratoga win. But having said that, she's done so well at Belmont Park in the past that she seems to be proficient around 1 turn as well.
Yeah, when she won at Saratoga, I did not like her one bit. She proved us wrong. Even, I think Michael sent Andy and I both a text saying, keep talking against our horse, and the horse will win. And she won that day, and she's in great form. She seems like she runs the same race every time, but it's good enough.
You remind me, I have to give Mike a hard time. You know, he's actually losing the owner's title.
I know, right?
He's 3 behind in the owner's title, and we know Michael wants to win those owner's titles.
Too.
I tell you what, he better get it home today with Literata and Bonita Bianca. And I like Bonita Bianca, who's over bet right now, but he's got to catch up in that owner's title, Mike.
Well, Mike always a good man for a wager. And looking at number 9, 5-star Rampage, Jimmy Jerkins brings this horse back to the NYRA circuit after wins at Finger Lakes and Parks in her last 2.
You know, I was talking to this horse quite a bit with Gabby on Talking Horses because she picked the horse I picked against him. I could understand. I gave her a long, long look, and I don't think she's impossible, but because she looks on paper like the right kind of horse, a good trainer. She's improving her starts.
Yeah.
This field, when she won this race, they ran fast, but she beat a horse who's inferior to these, who's done nothing since that race. The field she beat at Parks last time was the definition of hungry ball.
Yeah, it was. She has not beat much. I hate knocking horses that are 33% in the winner's circle. I just don't know if she can beat this group. Her races are suspect. And when she was nice, you know, she was 95 cents on the dollar. They were co-favorites, basically, Literata and her, in that race when they sort of faced each other. And Literata just beat her on the square. I just think she has to make up lengths on the 9, and I don't really like the 8. I mean, she's got to make up lengths on the 8, the 9, and I don't even like both of them, to be honest with you.
I find this to be a race, and I think the 9 5-star Rampage sort of exemplifies that, where you can make little cases for just about everybody in here. The 7's a little bit ridiculous, but after that, you look through, you can make cases for a lot of them. It's almost easier to make cases against them.
Yeah.
That is true. And taking a look at number 1, JC's American Dream, Linda Rice. Is she good with this move, Andy, when she takes horses? I mean, obviously she claimed this one for 25, and she's trying to move it up off Michelle Nevin, who is a good trainer. Let's face facts.
I agree. As good as Linda is, she didn't claim this horse from a dope. And her numbers, Linda has great numbers off the claim on the turf. Her numbers off the claim on the dirt are not great. Off the claim on the dirt, she's 23%, $1.68 ROI. In routes, worse. Having said that, this horse is a big price. I wouldn't dissuade people from betting her if they liked her. I just thought she was a little bit overmatched.
This is interesting to me because when I looked at this race, obviously the 1 and the 3 are sisters, if a lot of people out there don't know that. The 1's the younger sister. Now, when they ran in the Saratoga Dew, the 3 was a way shorter price than the 1, and Linda chose the 1 over the 3. Before that race, before the claim, you would have probably claimed the 3. The 3's 5 years old, the 1 is 6. She made a sharp claim with the 6, and I think with the 1, Maggie, the horse likes to win races, where JC Shooting Star, her sister, doesn't really like to win races.
Yeah, that's true. And also, time and time again, we see Linda, when she moves horses up, it speaks of her confidence. It's not like Linda's just doing this randomly. It usually pays off.
No, it does. And she usually infuses more speed, but I don't think they'll take the same running style. Bravo's been aboard her, too, now, and has won on her before.
JC Shooting Star, as you were talking about, Paulie, she doesn't like to get the job done, but she does show up in these races. She has races that make her fast enough and competitive here. She was 3rd in the 2015 edition of this race, too.
I tried the turf with her the last 3 times. Maybe experiment. The last time was okay.
She's run well enough, just tough for competition. I think she's a horse that can absolutely get a piece of this race. Do I think, as Maggie said, that she's likely to win? No, but I can understand why you run.
Well, we're 1 out from the Empire Distaff. That means we throw it upstairs to the voice of the Breeders' Cup, Larry Colmus.
They're all in line, and we are ready for the start. They're off in the Empire Distaff. Might Be goes out to the front. Verdant Pastures on the inside goes with her. These two out to the front together with No Hain, No Pain. Away running in 3rd position up the backstretch. Pride of Saratoga 4th on the inside, just ahead of Literata. Then it's 5-star Rampage. Break of another 2 to Bonita Bianca. And then come JC's Shooting Star and JC's American Dream. The first quarter in 22.94 seconds. Verdant Pastures 3/4 of a length ahead of Might Be running in second by 2.5. No Hain, No Gain is 3rd on the outside. Then comes Pride of Saratoga. Literata is close up in 5th, 4 lengths off the lead. 3.5 back to JC's Shooting Star, who gains ground on the inside of 5-star Rampage. Bonita Bianca has 10 lengths to make up, and she's leading JC's American Dream through a sharp half mile in 46.09 seconds. A half mile to go. Verdant Pastures 3/4 of a length. Might Be on the outside second. 2 lengths back to No Hain, No Gain in 3rd. And they're being followed by Literata, Pride of Saratoga to the inside of them. Then JC's Shooting Star. On the far outside, Bonita Bianca is going to go 5 wide, but is putting in a bid. Meanwhile, the top 2 are 6 lengths clear of the others. It's Verdant Pastures and Might Be at the top of the stretch together. 3/4, 110.72. They're into the stretch. And on the outside, it is Might Be. Verdant Pastures down toward the inside. Fights on. They pass the 8th pole together. Might Be on the outside. Verdant Pastures. And they are well clear of their competition. Bonita Bianca's 3rd. It's Verdant Pastures. Might Be, then Bonita Bianca. Verdant Pastures takes the Empire Distaff. Might Be ran a big 2nd, and then came Bonita Bianca and JC Shooting Star 4th in 143.65.
Verdant Pastures, well, Manny Franco took no prisoners from the gate. They went pretty quick, but she was able to last and hold off Long Shot in here. Might Be.
Tell you what, if there's a theme of today's show, it's the value of speed.
Yeah, it was a good ride by both of these guys. And you got to give credit to Kendrick Carmouche. He went after the 4. These 2 horses earned every bit of this. Excuse me, Dylan Davis. Both of these horses earned this. And at one point, I thought the 7 was by. If the 7 had any kind of bottom, maybe another mile race, he might have went by.
I mean, I don't want to take anything from Verdant Pastures, and she was the deserving winner here, but Might Be ran an unbelievable race, finishing 2nd. You were wondering, I mean, I was wondering what she was doing in here. Well, we know what she was doing in the race. She was almost winning it. And listen, Bonita Bianca, I liked. She made a run at the end, but she was a distant 3rd best in this race. Yeah, nobody else closed, and maybe the track helped these horses, but Verdant Pastures took real pressure in this race, and she was good.
She was really good. And it just shows you, you know, a little time off, Maggie, that 1 1/8 race, winning in hand and confidence. It gave her the confidence for this win here.
And 3-year-olds, 1, 2, 3.
And that they are, and also Charlie Baker and Manny Franco, 2 wins on this card. And it just speaks to the horseman that Charlie Baker is, and that he figured this filly out. He had said to me prior to her last win that she was tying up a lot, and he kind of figured out how to train her to help her overcome that. And she certainly has, with a big win here in the Empire Distaff. We will catch up with those connections, as well as get some prices here for what looks to be an interesting super, but a horse who's always interesting, Biscuits. Mind your biscuits, that is, as he will head back out to California for another try in the Breeders' Cup Sprint.
Undefeated in sprint competition, Eclipse champion Run Happy captured 3 Grade 1 victories and set blistering speed records at both Keeneland and Saratoga. In the Breeders' Cup Sprint, he dominated the world's fastest runners, going 6 furlongs in a record-breaking 108 and change. The only horse nominated for 3 Eclipse Awards, Run Happy was crowned champion male sprinter, all the while racing 100% drug-free. Champion, millionaire, record breaker, Run Happy, standing at Claiborne Farm.
Play Plus provides a fast and easy way to make deposits and cash out of your Naira Bets account. Make purchases with your Play Plus card everywhere Discover is accepted. Use your credit or debit card to fund Play Plus with high approval rates. Easily transfer funds from Play Plus directly into your NyraBets account. Enjoy instant withdrawals, no enrollment fees, and no monthly fees. Choose Play Plus for easy deposits. Sign up for your Play Plus account today at NyraBets.com.
Verdant Pastures being led into the winner's circle after her big Empire Distaff win here on Belmont Park Live. Welcome back to the show. As she went off at 3-1, she was the second choice in the wagering, and Charlie Baker having a heck of a day, as well as Manny Franco. And as I said, that superfecta for 10 cents, it paid $470.40 here, guys.
Yeah, this is such a fun celebration of all that's good about New York racing. Trainers like Charlie Baker winning, trainers that's supporting our game year-round, and owners as well. New York Bred Showcase Day, or Empire Showcase Day, is really one of my favorite days of the year.
It really is, because you're showcasing some of the sires that have been here for a while and some of the newer sires. And like Andy says, you're getting the heart and soul of the trainers that have been here since, a lot of years in day one and put in all the hard work, like guys like Charlie Baker.
Yeah, and the trainers that are here 365 days a year as well. Charlie Baker is just one of them, and he is standing by with Gabby Gaudette in the winner's circle.
Thank you very much, Maggie. Of course, a very good day for trainer Charlie Baker. And Charlie, you were talking about Verdant Pastures before the race and saying that it's key for her to relax. Yeah, what was going through your mind when the 7 was pressuring her early, although they were setting good practice?
I think she handled that. I think she can handle that. She does in the morning like it's nothing, fast pace, keep going. So I'm pretty sure she was handling that. I was worried about her being 100% as far as coming to the race. After Saratoga, we had a lot of problem with her sign up, and coming here, she was doing super, and then a couple of days ago, she started acting like she wanted to tie up again. So I was kind of, just open. Everything was good with her.
And she is kind of a difficult filly, or hard to keep at bay in the morning. As you said, she has difficulty in tying up. What can you do to help her? Obviously, you've made her right in the past 2 starts.
Yeah, well, I thought we had tying up is very tricky. You think you got it under control, and then suddenly they fall back. And we keep a routine. Let's keep her on a routine, and pretty much it works. But then something does happen. She might go there and just get a little too hyper, and she can come back tied up. So it's very difficult. But we had got a success the last few months with her.
And I'd imagine the nice weather helps as well. Not too hot, not too cold. But also, Charlie, you think you're going to keep her at an added distance or long distances just to keep her relaxed as well?
I think so. I think that's her game. I think she likes to go. She wants to cruise in speed, good cruising speed, and she keeps going. So I think that's her game, really.
And switching topics really quickly, this time last year you were pointing joking for the Breeders' Cup Sprint. Unfortunately, you had a scratch due to some issues that he came up with, but I see that he's back on the work tab. What's in store for him?
Well, we're just looking at the end of the fall, November, December, what comes up there. Just trying to get him back to where he's at. And he's doing great, so it's great to have him back in the barn.
All right, well, we're looking forward to seeing him, and congratulations here with Verdant Pastures.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, well, Charlie's had a good day. He's had a good week.
That he has, Gabby. Always a good guy to catch up with as well. And Gabby mentioning joking. Wonder if he comes back in, I don't know, the fall highway in about a month?
Love to see him back somewhere. Such a terrific horse. And Charlie, an amazing job. Actually claimed him for himself and won our Grade 1 Vosburg last year. Good horse.
That was such an amazing day for sure. And I was just so happy for Charlie. And unfortunate, as Gabby said, that he came up with that illness at the Breeders' Cup at Santa Anita. But a horse that is a couple horses that are heading back out to Del Mar. Well, we'll get to them in a second, but guys, it's interesting that New York breds have won 15 graded stakes, let alone this year, but in the 32-year history of the Breeders' Cup, only one. That one right there has ever won a Breeders' Cup race, and that was Day at the Spa in the 2014 Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies. Obviously for Chad Brown. Gabby Gaudette, though, caught up on the contenders this year and what we can expect.
Biscuits, mind your biscuits, storm to the front 100 metres out from Kamakas, and mind your biscuits raced away to win the Dubai Golden Shaheen.
Having won some of the world's premier races in 2017, a group of New York breds will travel to California with Breeders' Cup glory in mind. That group is headed by sprinter Mind Your Biscuits, a colt with prior success in the Golden State. After being moved up to second in last year's Breeders' Cup Sprint, he finished out the season with a Grade 1 victory.
Here comes Mind Your Biscuits to gobble him up, and Mind Your Biscuits will draw clear and beat Sharp Azteca half a length in the Malibu Stakes.
Being from New York, having a New York bred going to the Breeders' Cup is a title that we take a lot of pride in. When we won in Dubai, we're like, yeah, we got the New York bred back-to-back years. Now, you know, we got to do well in the Breeders' Cup to hold that mantle for New York bred of the year. It's going to be a tough battle, but rightfully so. A lot of talented New York breds, and the program just continues to get stronger every single year.
Diversify digs in. Keen Ice on the outside, and Pavel can't get him. Diversify has won the Jockey Club Gold Cup.
The speedy Diversify continues to thrive, recently winning the prestigious Jockey Club Gold Cup to earn an expenses-paid berth in the Classic. Despite potentially having to face Gunrunner and Arrogate, jockey Irad Ortiz is confident in the New York bred.
Diversify, last 2 times he showed up like never before. Represent New York with a New York bred, that'd be nice for me if we can bring it home. I love New York, and you know, I've been here my whole career. I love the fans, and love everybody here, the trainers and owner, and gonna be special if I can bring it home.
Green Mask has taken the lead. Disco Partner runs with him on the inside and holding gold, but it's Disco Partner and Irad Ortiz to win the Jaipur over Green Mask.
Setting a 6-furlong world record in the Jaipur may have helped convince owner Frank Generazio to supplement Disco Partner to the turf sprint, despite the New York breds and experience at 5 furlongs.
Irad, who's been riding him, is convinced he's got enough speed to go 5.8. I've got a small question mark about it, but he's so impressive, I think it would be foolish not to give him a chance.
Also heading west is Chester and Mary Broman's Highway Star, a 4-time graded stakes winner who will try to stalk and pounce in the filly and mare sprint.
At Chester and Mary Broman, they only, they breed horses here in New York, and it's a very strong program they have, and they have good quality of mares, and, that makes the difference. And it's great. It's a great program to be a New York bred. It's very, very good.
And you see what Diversify did the other day, winning the Jockey Club Gold Cup, which is just, as famous a race as there is. Rodrigo Abilio is going to take Highway Star out there. She's doing her thing, open company. We'll wave that New York flag with a lot of pride out in California.
And the New York breds out at Del Mar, that's for sure. Mind Your Biscuits, Disco Partner, Diversify, and Highway Star. And, Chad Summers, he was out there last year, but Rodrigo Ubillo, these are kind of guys that have smaller stables, but they have those stars. It's really cool to see them out at the Breeders' Cup.
I agree. And, last year, obviously, you had Have You Gone Away representing the New York breds. And this year, we've got Highway Star. And I think of all those, she's got to be the one that has the best chance.
Yeah, I would say Highway Star does. I think Disco Partner's going to love the 5 furlongs at Del Mar. Here's the thing about Del Mar. I think a lot of people think the shorter the distance, you can go to the front end and go. A lot of horses come from off the pace. Disco Partner, I think, has got a big shot. Mind Your Biscuits, I don't know if he's going the wrong way or not. Now, he has one in California, which is key. But
Dre Fong just looks like an absolute
that
beast.
sprint division's a different ballgame. You're right.
Right.
Yeah.
I think Dreyfont could be a little vulnerable. I do think the not running El Deal is going to help him in there.
Yeah.
We'll see how things play out. I'll be surprised. I'll tell you, the Breeders' Cup sprint's coming up very, very tough this year, especially with my Miss Aurelia, Lady Aurelia.
Lady Aurelia, yeah. And the thing about, I just don't think Bob Baffert, if it was at Santa Anita, that's his type of surface. Bob's not a big fan of what's going on there at Del Mar. So Andy might be right with the Dreyfong a little bit because he took him out of town. He doesn't really want him. The start of the year, the horse lost the jockey. There hasn't been great mojo for Bob this year so far at Del Mar.
Yeah, and you mentioned that with the big horse, Arrogate. Can he get back on track in this Breeders' Cup Classic? He has to face a horse that has done absolutely nothing wrong this year in Gunrunner.
I agree. Gunrunner's been absolutely sensational. We're sort of rooting as the home team. I wonder, though, if 1.25 miles favors Arrogate more than it favors Gunrunner.
That track certainly doesn't.
Yeah, that's true.
It's true. And a lot of people have been commenting that the track at Del Mar has been tough to ship into, and it's either the horse loves it or does not. So does the 2 races over the racetrack help Arrogate over Gunrunner? I don't know. I think the confidence level's got to be way up on Gunrunner compared to Arrogate.
That is true. One heading in on a nice roll, one not so much in Arrogate. But task at hand here, horses in the paddock for race number 11, maiden special weight. Way Smart will return. Will she make it to the head of her class here in race number 11? Stay tuned. You're watching Belmont Park Live.
Chadwell Farm, home to world-class stallions, offers 2 successful stake sires. Brilliant Miler, Daher, a consistent source of quality. Daher is the sire of black-type winners coast to coast. Grade 1 winner and millionaire, Albertus Maximus, winner of the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile and Don Handicap. He is now siring black-type horses across the U.S. and abroad. Chadwell Farm, building speed for the future.
Welcome back. You're watching Belmont Park Live, as I'm sure a lot of people took the LIRR out to the races here today with this New York Showcase Day, as we'll head in to race number 11 here. And we are also showing Keeneland races tomorrow, rolling into one big day into another. That 1 million point hit or split, if you hit the late pick 4 bonus, you will be able to hit or split those 1 million points, and those wagering reward points can always be converted into wagering dollars. Check out NyraBets.com as we'll take a look at a horse who isn't taking that much money early on, at least in the wagering. That is the comeback horse number 4 in here, Way Smart, for trainer Jimmy Bond. But her first race here, Paul and Andy, makes her very competitive.
It makes her competitive. We have seen the horse Sweet August Lay that beat her, a Chad Brown horse we're familiar with in the show, come back a few times and not prove very good. But she was a first-time starter, and she's not impossible in this race. Where has she been, though, since June?
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I thought this was a good race, and I'm with you. Where has she been? In how good was this field? Because now you know the best handicapping tool is time. So Tiz of Temper ran 3rd, came back to run okay. So this was, to me, the 4 was the toughest read in this race of whether to use her or not, because it was a good race.
It was fine. you do wonder with Jimmy Bond not running her in Saratoga. Jimmy Bond, really, he's up in Saratoga, wants to run her. So obviously, the reason that she's been out. I don't think she's impossible. I just prefer others.
She's been working there up on the Saratoga, Oklahoma turf course. And this filly, a full sister to Tizelle, who ran 4th in the Iroquois a little bit earlier on today's card. But Gabby is down in the paddock. She can fill us in a little bit more on how Way Smart looks. And as always, we are brought to you by Shadwell Farm, the Paddock Report, building speed for the future. Gabby?
Thanks very much, Maggie. And we will start with the horse that you guys were talking about in the 4 Way Smart. And to me, she looks great. I mean, she's behaving well. She's doing everything that you want a horse to do or behave like. But to me, I wish I would have seen, or I would be seeing her a little bit more fit, a little bit more tucked up. So I'm wondering if they're going to just use this race as a stepping stone to maybe even get more distances. She debuted at a mile too. So I think, I don't know. I'm indifferent with her, but I do wish that she might have been a little bit more defined today off of the layoff. Now, the 3 Cosmozelle is a first-time starter for trainer Jeremiah Engelhart, and this is another one who she definitely looks like a turf filly. This looks like the right spot for her, and I'll be paying attention to her as she transitions onto the track today for a warm-up, but she's just kind of been moseying around. I don't know if she's really checked in or got her head in the game as a first-time starter. And then the 9 Lulu's Pompom gets added distance from 5.5 furlongs today to the 7/8 for Christophe Clement. And initially looking at her races, I wasn't confident in maybe her ability to get the added distance, but to me, physically, kind of looks like she should be able to do it. So we'll see what can happen, but I will say the 9 Lulu's Pompom does look like she could get that added distance to 7/8.
Gabby, thank you. And guys, Lulu's Pompom is a daughter of Pomeroy, and as Gabby alluded to, trying the 7/8 for the first time, as she does come in off of an effort where she was disqualified from 2nd and placed 3rd, as we'll take a look at the race.
She was disqualified for bullying her way out. I agree with the trainers, with the steward's decision. A lot of people didn't. I don't really care. I think the field that she was running against was atrocious, and this field is much better.
I still love you, Andy, because I had the Dylan Davis in the 5, and I'm still thinking I was going to lose this race. But she was
You were best.
She was trying to get through this spot, and about right here, she just couldn't go by. I'm in agreement a little bit with Gabby. She went right by the wire, but here's the head-on. Now, you want to decipher for yourself whether he created space or not. He does, and that's part of horse racing, but most of the times they really don't. But right here, I don't know. I thought they both met, but obviously the bumping cost both of the horses a placing for me.
But he forced her way out. But regardless of that, I think she got out with enough time, and she still hung a bit like a chandelier. To me, that's not even the point. I just don't. I may be wrong. I'm wrong all the time. I just think that was a very weak field she's coming out of.
I would have to side with you there, and she's been the beaten favorite now twice. And in regards to the distance, obviously you're kind of at the mercy of the racing office and how the condition book comes up. But don't you think Christophe would have thought about longer before now?
Probably. She probably is the one that's bred to go a little bit shorter. I'm not a fan. Listen, I'm a fan of the 10 in this race. I like the 10 Dream Passage. And you look at her last race. First of all, La Moneda has been moved into your barn. Her husband, Tom Morley, trains her now and had a huge win coming out of that race. This was a race that fell apart. You want horses that were close to the pace in this race. So you want horses like Smart and Sassy. The 7 today was a bit of a price. And you want Dream Passage. Dream Passage ran very well in her return race. Another race with a huge pace at Saratoga that fell apart. And today, she gets that very enviable outside stalking spot. And lately on the Widener, horses on the outside have been running better. I think the ground is a little more chewed up towards the inside. The outside runners are doing better, and I think Dream Passage gets the perfect stalking trip today and wins.
I think she's got a big shot. That was my other horse in here. Like I said, I thought the Ross race was 9-10. That's the way I had it. And, you get Joelle aboard. The horse has got enough speed to stay close. Second time Lasix, I think that's key too.
But she's got to deliver because she looked good as a 2-year-old, and she has disappointed a bit. I do think she's had some excuses.
No, I get what you're saying there, and the other horses in here that have run, like the 4 and the 1, at least the 1 and some of the others, are not really taking money. The one that is the 7.
Well, Polly, as you were mentioning, number 1, that is 'Tis a Temper. Jeremiah Engelhart will send this 3-year-old filly of Tisnow out.
She's consistent. She's been running reasonably well in her races. She feels like a horse that could hit the board.
Amanda Lane is a big prize on the barn board. She is number 2 for Bruce Levine.
Not hopeless. Her 2 turf starts are not bad. She's going to put the blinkers on today.
Lone first-time starter in the field is number 3, Cosmoiselle. Jeremiah Engelhardt, his second starter in this field.
A homebred comes down from Fingerlace with a sire that's a good turf horse. Not much on the dam side, though. She is a Freud.
Number 4, Way Smart. Jimmy Bond will send this one out with Rajiv Mirage in the irons.
A very good debut on June 22nd, and she's going to try to get a little bit better. She's 9-2 that day. She's basically 9-2 today.
Piquet will make her 7th career start for Bob Robato and Mark Keller.
She has the running style that gives her a chance in this race. She has hung some on the money, but she's consistently run well.
Smart and Sassy taking a little bit of play. As you mentioned, Andy Polly coming out of one of the better fields. She is number 7. She is ridden by Jose Lescano for Bruce Levine.
And she has a giant pedigree, a half to 2 very talented turf runners, and she's a Freud. I give her one final chance.
See if she can deliver today as spa treatment. That sounds good right now for Tom Albatrani and Javier Castellano.
I've been recommending it to Andy since I've gotten here, 8-1.
Number 9 is Lulu's Pompom, current 5-2 favorite. Irad Ortiz will try again here for Christophe Clement.
I'll get her in the winner's circle. If you like her at 5-2, you need to ask yourself why you aren't betting the 2, Amanda Lane, at 20-1.
And number 10 is Dream Passage to round things out for Brian Lynch with Joelle Rosario. We'll see if she can deliver, as we were saying, second-time Lasix.
I think she's the one to maybe hold off here late on the cutback. Ran against a good one last time, second-time Lasix. But the one she lost to last time, La Moneda, is a runner.
Well, that is your field here for tonight's nightcap. Well, hopefully Lulu's Pompom, she won't have to bull her way through again, and she can get through going the 7/8 here in this last race at Belmont Park. Stay tuned to Belmont Park Live.
Mastery retired undefeated, winning his 4 starts by a combined 20 lengths. A 6-figure September sale purchase. He won impressively in his 2-year-old debut at Santa Anita. From there, he captured the Grade 3 Bob Hope Stakes and completed his juvenile campaign with a dominant performance in the Grade 1 Los Alamitos Futurity. At 3, the top-rated son of Candy Ride sizzled in the San Felipe, running a 105 buyer and winning by open lengths. Mastery, new for 2018 at Claiborne Farm.
Change the way you watch racing forever with the new NYRA Now app. Live racing in English or Spanish. From a variety of camera angles, race replays, talking horses, race analysis, and a multitude of on-demand content, all in high definition. NYRA Now is available on many platforms, including iOS, Android, Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire, and more coming soon. Download NYRA Now today, free in the App Store, and start watching the best racing like never before.
Sun is beginning to set here on beautiful Belmont Park as we are minutes away, 4 minutes to be exact, make that 3, to race number 11. That's one of our trusty outriders, Pepe, in the irons there, making sure everything is copacetic out there on the racetrack. And if you want to be copacetic as far as your bank account is concerned, make sure you become a NYRA Bets customer. That $100 sign-up bonus, bet 100, get 100, and use promo code LIVE when you go to NYRABets.com. Well, Gabby Gaudette, she is standing trackside. She's had, once again, a good look at these horses. Gabby, what can you tell us about Dream Passage?
Well, Maggie, I can tell you that I won maybe one of the 3 horses that are coming out of the La Moneda race, because I agree with you guys. I think that was the strongest maiden special weight that in the field that several others are coming out of. But Dream Passage, and we'll check in with the 3 that are coming out of that race. Dream Passage, she looks to me like a distance turf horse. She's just got a lot of size to her. She's long, she's lanky. So to me, she looks like she's been running at the appropriate distances in the past couple of starts. She's been plagued by by bad circumstances in those races, and I think she's got a big shot, but she is a shorter price too. As we get to the 5 PK for Bob Robato, and she's had her chances, I will admit that, but she to me looks like a perfect middle distance type of horse, whereas you have the 10 who might look like she wants a little bit longer. PK looks like a good 7/8, maybe 1 turn mile as sprinter as well, so we'll see. And she looks great too, guys. She's dappled from head to toe. And lastly, the 7 Smart and Sassy. Well, the race that she comes out of, the La Moneda race, the pace collapsed. And it's not surprising because she really looks like a sprinter. She does not look like a mile type of horse. So I think the shorter, the better. Is 7/8 too far for her? I guess we'll see. I think it puts a good foundation underneath of her. But I like her best if you're looking at the discrepancy in odds and how the race played out, guys.
And then we'll do this.
Gabby, thank you. And we'll take a look at a horse who is adding blinkers. That's number 2, Amanda Lane, currently at 26-1 on the board. And I mean, she's kind of been plagued by, not getting on the turf 2 starts back. And her 2 turf starts, both of them, one of at 5.5, one at 6. I mean, the one at 5.5 at Saratoga makes her competitive here, no?
Yeah, I don't like her. She's 26-1. If you like her, you should bet her. I don't like her. But I want to point something out. She set the pace in that race that Lulu's Pompom got beaten a nose in. And Lulu's Pompom is 5-2. She finished a head and a neck behind Lulu's Pompom, and she's 28-1. Either Lulu's Pompom is the worst bet of all time at 5-2, or she's the greatest bet of all time at 28-1.
Their board's telling you
It can't be right, Paul. It can't be right.
Well, I mean, Amanda Lane putting the blinkers on. I'm with you. I thought both of her starts were okay. I don't get the 28-1. I don't get the 11-1 on the 7. I get there's a hidden race in there, but no.
How is it right? The 2 is over 10 times the price than the price of the 9. It can't be right. They hit the wire together in a race. There's something wrong in the betting. I don't like either one of them, but I'm just pointing out that's why I think the 9 is a horrible bet.
I think a lot of people are thinking the 9 should have won last time when they look at and it shouldn't be a maiden, and maybe that's why the horse is 5-2, or it's the Christophe Clement factor. Let's look at the 7. I'm not against any of these trainers in here. 7 and 8 are combined trainers, 0 for 47 for the meet. So the trainers in here are not...
I understand. Bruce Levine is a very good trainer. Yes. He trains the 7 and the 2 as well. He had a big Saratoga, which is unlike it for him, and I just think his horses have had a hangover since Saratoga. And he's over 18. He's run a lot of horses with no chance.
I think a lot of guys, when, Maggie, they run out of conditions. So that's the other part of it, too, when they get in these little losing streaks or little ruts.
Exactly. It doesn't really have anything to do with the job they're doing. It's just the races aren't coming up with the horses that they have to be competitive. We'll see what Bruce Levine can do. He sends out 2 long shots, number 7, Smart and Sassy, and Amanda Lane. We'll send it out one more time to Larry Colmus with the call of this nightcap here on Belmont Park Live.
Dream Passage is coming up to the outside stall here. Will be the last one to load. Goes in. And they're all in line. They're off. Lulu's Pompom up and after the lead. Way Smart's got some speed too. And then it's Amanda Lane and Cosmoiselle going up in between horses. Then it's Tizza Temper to the inside. Smart and Sassy. Spa Treatment is next. Dream Passage and PK on the inside. Amanda Lane has made the lead up the backstretch and is in the clear by a length and a half to Cosmoiselle. Then it's Way Smart in third, the first quarter, 23.08 seconds. Lulu's Pompom is fourth and on the outside, 3 lengths off the lead. And they're followed by Tizza Temper, who closes ground on the inside. And then it's Smart and Sassy, followed by Spa Treatment to the outside, down toward the inside, PK. Dream Passage last, as Amanda Lane, a 37-1 long shot, rolls along up front here to Cosmoiselle. Way Smart is third on the outside after a 46.47 half mile. Lulu's Pompom is moving on the outside. Tizza Temper cuts the corner, and they're making their way to the top of the stretch with Amanda Lane to catch. Amanda Lane turns for home in front. Here on the outside comes Way Smart. who now cruises on by. Lulu's Pompom is coming too, so is Dream Passage on the far outside. It is Way Smart, Lulu's Pompom, and Dream Passage. Way Smart with the inside lead coming down to the wire from Lulu's Pompom and Dream Passage. Way Smart has done it. Close second there may have been Dream Passage. Lulu's Pompom was right there too. Spot Treatment fourth in 122.43.
Way Smart, doing a bit better than her full sister, admittedly, here today, as she was good off the layoff here, guys.
No, she did. She was ready to roll for Jimmy Bond. She got a very, very nice ride by Rajiv Mirage to get it done. Lulu's Pompom ran fine. She couldn't run her down. The 10, an overconfident ride by Dream Passage by Joel Rosario. But to be fair, he got her there. She just didn't finish.
Yeah, you could tell he looked as though he was loaded with horse, and then when he swung her out, she just kind of does the Dream Passage routine.
Yeah, you know, the riding that happens here on the turf course confuses me. I ride Ortiz Jr. on the 9. The guy can flat out ride, but he was riding the 9 like he had theatrical. I mean, this horse is stretching out to 7 furlongs. He was 5 wide most of the way. But here's the thing. The 4, the 9, and the 10, your first 3 finishers were in the middle of the racetrack at the top of the lane.
Well, that's what I was talking to you about. And I think that's one of the reasons the 9 and 10 didn't want to be towards the inside. I think it's taken about 4 days to figure it out. The riders might have figured out. In the Widener right now, you want to be out in the outside paths.
Yeah, it does look as though it's a little bit chewed up down there and just a fresh strip of grass here in late October. Well, it pays off when you're on the turf as Way Smart returns to the winner's circle for the Jimmy Bond Barn at 3-1 here on this final race on New York Showcase Day.
Play Plus provides a fast and easy way to make deposits and cash out of your Naira Bets account. Make purchases with your Play Plus card everywhere Discover is accepted. Use your credit or debit card to fund Play Plus with high approval rates. Easily transfer funds from Play Plus directly into your Naira Bets account. Enjoy instant withdrawals, no enrollment fees, and no monthly fees. Choose Play Plus for easy deposits. Sign up for your Play Plus account today at NairaBets.com.
Returning back to the winner's circle. Well, it isn't one of those 2 horses. That's Lulu's Pompom and Dream Passage. They battled it out for second. Dream Passage getting the best of that, but there in the winner's circle, looking a lot like her sister, is Way Smart for Jimmy Bond and Montclair stable. So we will catch up with Jimmy Bond in a moment, but what...
Jimmy Bond trained one of the best New York breds of the last 25 years.
Way.
How about, well, he wasn't a New York bred, was he?
Oh, no,
I'm thinking
you're right.
Of Le Carrière.
What the heck am I thinking of?
Le Carrière.
Le Carrière,
Who finished second
That's
to Cigar.
right.
I forgot about that.
That's right.
Nice to see him win the last race on New York Bred Showcase Day.
Yeah,
He's had some nice ones in the past, that's for sure. Jimmy Bond doing great work, getting Way Smart back to racing in tip-top form. 870 for the win. We'll throw it down to Gabby Gaudette, who is standing by with winning trainer Jimmy Bond.
Thank you very much, Maggie. And Way Smart gets the job done off of the layoff. Jimmy, how are you feeling? What were the confidence levels like coming into today off the layoff?
Well, her sister got beat in the stake, and I just broke my heart today. She broke bad and was just so wide anyway. So after you start like that, you just say, well, you know, I've entered her mile 16th, race didn't fill, 7/8. I was really nervous, okay? But she's got a lot more speed than her sister, and she's just, she's a good filly.
You think it just boils down to her class?
Yeah, she's got a lot of class.
All right, well, we're looking forward to her stretching out and a bright future. Sorry about Dizelle getting the loss, but at least you got the victory. Congratulations here.
Thank you.
All right, back to you, Maggie.
At least we can see Jimmy Bond leaving today's races with a smile on his face as Way Smart gets the victory.
I don't know. He's a typical horseman, right? He just won a race and he's up there complaining.
Oh, the thing is there's so many lows and the highs, you can't even enjoy them.
But we were born for this game, to play the game, and then complain about our beats.
Right. That's exactly
that's
why we
horse
love
racing
racing.
in general.
It just gives us constant things to whine about. That's what I love about racing.
100%, yeah.
Well, we certainly saw some great racing on this New York Showcase day, and we had two trainers win 2 of the stakes, and Chad Brown and Charlie Baker. That was good. We saw some jockeys pick up some big wins, and we just saw big prices, period.
We did see some big prices making a Pick 6 carryover, and it was just a fun day of racing, and it's such a terrific celebration. I think I may have been here for virtually every one of these Empire Showcase days, and they're all memorable days.
No, they really are. Great stuff.
All right, well, we'll first check out Twisted Tom in the Empire Classic, and then the turf course evaluator, the 2-year-old from Mike Dilger in the Sleepy Hollow, Australenka. He got things done for his owner and trainer, David Jacobson, in the Hudson. Black Tide, well, he kept on rolling in today's Mohawk. Dave Canizzo, Jose Lescano, they were looking good in the winner's circle. And Verdant Pastures, well, it was Charlie Baker's second win on this New York Showcase Day. Thanks for joining us here on Belmont Park Live.
Pompom was right there too. Spot treatment 4th in 122.43.